If you don't watch this video, your child's money or house will sooner or later be split in half by someone else. At the end of this video, I'll also teach you the only effective and extremely low-cost method, so make sure you listen to the end. Don't foolishly just give your money or house directly to your child. To be honest, in Australia, what you think is love might actually just be you preparing in advance to give away half of your assets. What I'm sharing with you today is something 90% of Chinese parents don't know, but it's a method that's always been used in wealthy circles. So how exactly can you ensure that the savings you've worked hard for your whole life can be passed down safely? Let me tell you a true story about my friend Old Wang. A few years ago, he bought his son a house, actually a mansion in Glen Waverley, paying the full amount up front. He wanted his son to have a home to get married and to give himself peace of mind. But what happened? His son got divorced just 3 years after getting married. As for whose fault it was, let's not get into that. His son was also at fault. The problem lies here. So what happened to that house? Before the property settlement, it was already included in the asset pool. What does that mean? It means that when they got divorced, half of it was immediately frozen. And my friend Old Wang, who is actually my uncle, so he's like an uncle to me, was so angry that he ended up staying in a private hospital for half a month. Even now, whenever he talks about this, he still gets worked up because his money didn't just fall from the sky. These kinds of things sound upsetting, but they happen every day. In our Chinese families, we always believe that a harmonious family brings prosperity and that talking about money hurts relationships. We believe in family bonds. We believe that blood is thicker than water. But the cold reality of Australian law and taxation simply doesn't recognize any of that. I've seen too many families late at night facing this. Worrying over bank accounts and property documents, you want to give the best to your children. I'm the same way. But at the same time, you're afraid your child might meet the wrong person, or that your lifetime of hard-earned money could be cheated away, right? Or maybe it could be taken by the Australian tax office or split up in a divorce. I completely understand this fear and sense of helplessness. It's all too real because it happens everywhere. I've also seen many newlywed couples happily buying a house with their parents' down payment. Then when signing the contract, the lawyer asks what form of ownership they want. Without thinking, because they don't understand, they just choose joint tenant. Joint tenancy, to put it bluntly, is a life and death bond. It sounds a bit harsh, but if one person passes away, let's hope that never happens, their share automatically goes to the surviving person. In other words, your will becomes useless. This is according to the Australian Tax Office. What you thought was a guarantee of love, what you thought was proof of two people being tied together, you actually have no idea that with just a small choice, you legally gave away a right that overrides your will. You personally did this yourself. You've planted a huge landmine for future inheritance of your assets, and because of this information gap, the price you pay is often devastating. Why is that? When normal people buy a house, who tells you about these things? It's not the seller's responsibility, nor is it the conveyancing lawyers, right? For example, I once helped my client buy an inheritance property in Camberwell, and it was a full 200,000 Australian dollars below market price. Why? Because the parents had some issues and the three siblings were in a rush to split the money and sell the house, undermining each other. It was as ugly as it could get. They just wanted to cash out and leave as soon as possible. Watching them, I couldn't help but think, no matter how good the relationship is, it can't withstand a bad arrangement. And then there was a white family. When it comes to money, human nature simply can't withstand the test.